Hey guys, it's Magical. So, I'm filming this video. I've actually tried to film this video for 3 freaking times now, and I'm actually really sick of filming this video. This is just a vlog slash story time about why I pretty much don't really have any friends for the most part. And I mean, I do have friends, but I don't hang out with any of my friends really. And I don't really have any female friends. So I actually already made a video about this titled Why I Have No Female Friends. But I realized in that video I never really explained why I don't have any female friends. Even though technically I do have female friends, it's just I don't really have that's just a notification that you heard just now. I don't really have any friends, I don't really have any female friends that I really hang out with. So here's why. Basically, I went to college. I went to an all-girls college. And the friends that I made at that college, I either made through default, like they either came up to me and talked to me first, and so I was friends with them, and then I was friends with their friends by default. So that's how I made pretty much all of my friends in college. But then I would try to make friends in college, and like I said in my first video, I picked a lot of the wrong people to try to make friends with. The way my college was, I went to a really small all-girls college, and I mean, a lot of times we would sit in the same seats every day, and so I would just try to talk to the people who were like sitting right next to me, because those were the people I felt the most comfortable talking to. I didn't really want to try to move around to different tables or different seats all the time and try to make friends with people who were already kind of far away from me. Maybe I should have done that, but I feel like maybe they would have been a little irked that I sort of took their seat. And but yeah, I would just start talking to the people who were next to me, and I feel like half of the people I picked to talk to, who, I mean, I pretty much had to talk to them because they were right next to me. I mean, unless I moved around more in the class, but so I feel like half of the people I tried to make friends with in college were very introverted types. They were very shy, and they just, either they did not like me or they just did not really want to talk. I don't know. But I feel like I'm a very friendly, cool, nice person. I don't think I'm particularly awkward. And I tried to make friends with a lot of these girls, and they just didn't really want to talk to me. Or no, we would talk, but I just felt like we didn't really have that much in common. I felt like we just did not really click. You know, I would kind of have to effort so much to try to make friends with all these people, and it just did not really click. You know, I feel like a friendship should just happen naturally without any real effort. And you know, like, I mean, yeah, you should make effort to talk to people, but after you know, initially start talking to someone for a few minutes, you know, a day or whatever, after about a few weeks of trying to talk to someone, if the friendship hasn't developed naturally and, you know, into a really close friendship after a few weeks of talking to someone, then I guess I feel like maybe you should just try talking to someone else. But I didn't do that. I kept trying to talk to these people and hope that a friendship would happen. But a friendship, like a good friendship, just never really happened. Like, we would be acquaintances and we would be friendly, but we weren't really, like, I didn't feel like we really talked in a deep way. Like, I didn't feel like there was, like, a real clicking of the friendship. So I did try, you guys, to make friends in college. I feel like there was probably at least one person I talked to in most of my classes throughout all of college, and yet I still did not make that many friends. I only made like 7 friends, and most of those friends I made because either they talked to me first, or like I said, I was friends with their friends by default. So I only made like 7 friends in college, even though I tried to make more friends. It's just a lot of the girls at that college were very introverted, or I did not really have that much in common with them. So tried as I might have, and I did try, we just did not have that much in common. And then also the way that college was very cliquey. So I feel like, I was trying to make friends after freshman year, and after freshman year, everyone had already made their set friend groups, and I just feel like pretty much most of the girls at that college just did not really want to, make new friends after freshman year. They already had, or after sophomore year anyway, probably. So I just feel like they already had their set friend group, and they just did not really want to, make a whole bunch of new friends anyway. So that's what I mean by I feel like they were very introverted, and just kind of, they were also, a lot of the girls there were pretty shy as well. And there is a difference between introverted and shy, by the way. I'm shy, but I'm also very extroverted sometimes. But I'm also introverted, so I'm kind of both. Extroverted and introverted. And, so that was my college experience. I did make about 7 friends, like I said, in college. But see, after college, I did not really hang out with any of my friends anymore, because pretty much all of the friends that I made in college were from other cities in my state, which is South Carolina. I live in Columbia, South Carolina, and they either moved, after college, most of my friends either moved back to their home city, which is a different city from Columbia, South Carolina, which is where I live, or they lived out of state. So that's the issue there. I couldn't really hang out with my friends anymore after college for those reasons, because most of my friends lived in different places, in different cities, or in different states. So after college, I didn't really see any of my friends from college anymore, since most of them lived in different cities or different states. And then I got a job as a line therapist after college. I was working with children who have autism as a teacher, basically, at that job. And I did that job for 2 years. And at that job, I was either always with little kids or with their parents. I was with the little kids and their parents at the same time, obviously, because the parents had to supervise the kids. So I would be with the parents and the kids in their house, teaching the kids. And then my supervisors would show up and check up on me and work with me once a week. And so, but the thing with that job is everyone there was either much younger than me, like a little kid, or they were probably 10 years older than me, and they had kids. So I was with little kids and parents all the time. And so I didn't have anything in common with them. I did have a lot in common with the kids, because I'm a big kid. But I can't hang out with the kids that I worked with and just go see a horror movie, or go to the pub. Can't go to the pub with a 5-year-old. I can't hang out with, a 5-year-old at the mall, just chilling in Starbucks with with my 5-year-old best friend. So and they were really cool kids, like, yeah, so it was fun to be able to play with them, and I feel like they were my friends, but we couldn't really hang out because they were 5. So that's the problem there. And then their parents, I don't think I really had anything very much in common with the parents. I kind of did have stuff in common with one of the parents, but I just feel like she's a parent and she's really busy, and I just don't think we would have had very much time to hang out. So that's why I didn't make any friends at that job. And then after I did that job, I worked at Pizza Hut for a few months. And everyone at my job at Pizza Hut, they were, I just felt like I didn't really have that much in common with them either. I think a lot of them were probably very into hip-hop culture, or just like music that I didn't listen to, like pop music, like Ariana Grande or something, and I'm just like, no. I guess Ariana's okay. I don't dislike her music, but I've heard her songs, and I liked Thank You Next, but it's not really something that I would really listen to on a regular basis. I don't really like any of the pop music that people play nowadays. And so they were into stuff like that. They were into music like that, like pop music, or like Beyonce or stuff like that. Beyonce is cool, but I'm not really that into Beyonce. I don't really listen to Beyonce like that. I listen to things that most people probably don't really listen to. So they were usually talking about music, or I don't know. I think they were usually talking about music. And, excuse me, I didn't listen to any of the music they listened to. Like, I tried talking to them a little bit, but I just felt like I didn't really want to be friends with any of them. I didn't feel that calling to really try to be friends with a whole bunch of them. I did really try talking to and becoming friends with 2 of the girls that I worked with there at Pizza Hut, though. And I became friends technically with one of the girls I worked with at Pizza Hut, but I felt that she was very fake. And I felt that she was talking about me behind my back with the other people. I also felt like everyone at that job talked about everyone behind each other's backs. Or at least maybe I just felt like maybe they were talking about me behind my back. But I didn't really do anything. So, I didn't do anything wrong at that job. I feel like they probably talked about everyone behind everyone's backs. So, but I did make friends with 2 of the girls at that job. But see, the one girl I made friends with, I felt like she was kind of fake. I felt like she was talking about me behind my back a little bit. And I don't know if she was saying anything good or bad. I just don't like anyone talking about me behind my back. And I could tell she was probably talking about me behind my back. So I didn't like that. And I did add her on Facebook Messenger anyway, and I kind of messaged her a little bit, but I just wasn't really feeling the connection of a friendship with her. We didn't have that much in common. And then I talked to this other girl there, but she didn't really have a cell phone, you guys. Like I said in my first video, she didn't even have a cell phone. She didn't even use a laptop, I don't think. She was basically like Amish, you guys. And so I couldn't even like talk to her after work and be like, hey, you know, what's up? I couldn't be like, hey, yo, let's go to Starbucks or something, you know, like, I couldn't even talk to her after work. And then so as soon as I left that job, I couldn't even keep talking to her. And I could have really seen myself hanging out with her, even though we didn't really have that much in common. I felt like we could have hung out, but she didn't even have like technology. So that's that. And after I worked at Pizza Hut, I got a job as a security officer, which is what I'm doing now. But the thing with that job is, so I didn't have anything, I felt like I didn't have that much in common with the people at Pizza Hut. At this current job that I have as a security officer, I feel like I do have a lot in common with the people I work with, because they're college kids, and so they are pretty much the same age as me. I feel like we have a lot in common, but the problem is that I work by myself at that job, at the front desk, for like literally like 8 hours or sometimes up to 12 hours every day that I'm there. I'm pretty much by myself that whole time, except my supervisor will walk by every 2 hours, but he's like 60 something probably, and so we don't really have that much in common. I do talk to my supervisor in a friendly way, but like we just don't have that much in common. I can't see myself hanging out and being really good friends with my supervisor. I mean, he was in the military, he's into guns, and I know he knows a lot about cars, but I just don't really see myself like hanging out with my supervisor, shooting guns, and, you know, actually talking. I don't know. I've tried talking to him about some of the stuff I'm into, but he doesn't really get it. He does like to read, so I guess we could talk about books, but I just don't really see myself really wanting to hang out with him, because he is like so much older than me, and we also don't have that much in common. So I just can't really see myself wanting to hang out with my supervisor and go to like Starbucks, you know. I keep bringing up Starbucks. I just feel like, you know, I want some friends I can just like actually chill with at Starbucks, you know, like that I can go out to eat with and we can actually talk, you know, and have a good conversation that I'm really into, you know. I don't really see myself being able to have that good conversation that I'm like really, really into with my supervisor, although he is cool. So there's that. And then the college kids that I do actually feel like I have a lot in common with, I only get to see them for like half an hour to an hour. It's half an hour in the summer that I see them in the mornings. They show up around 7 a.m. And, but then, you know, I only am with them, sitting next to them for half an hour. But we're not really doing that much, so we could build a friendship in that time. But I only work like 3 or 4 days a week. So, I don't know, is that really enough time to really build a friendship with someone? I guess it is. But anyway, they're busy for like the first 5 or 10 minutes of that time doing work stuff, like getting their things together, doing paperwork or whatever they do in the office. And then they sit around and they're always like on their laptop or on their cell phone, and I don't know if I should like interrupt them. I feel like maybe they kind of want to watch or read whatever they're reading. So I do try to talk to them, kind of. Like, okay, well, like in the fall, no, in the spring semester, I would have an hour with these students, but it was always the same 2 students, and one was a guy. I didn't really want to talk to him, but the other student I would hang out with a lot was a girl, and I would talk to her. We would talk a lot, actually. But the thing with her is, after getting to know her and really becoming friendly with her, I really felt that we just did not have that much in common. Yet again, this is my issue. It's like, I really try to make friends with people, but I just do not have that much in common with most people that I have met anyway in my whole life. It's so sad, you guys. I just want to meet people I actually have stuff in common with, but I just cannot seem to find very many people that I have a lot in common with. I do have some people that I have met that I have a lot in common with, but, you know, I do have a few friends that I have a lot in common with. But what I'm saying is that most of the people that I've met in my whole life, I have not had very much in common with. And this was the case with this particular girl. She was cool, but she was very religious. And there's nothing wrong with being religious. I used to be a Christian myself. It's not... There's nothing wrong with being very religious. It's just that I felt that she was kind of like a square, you know? And, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a square. It's just that I'm kind of like, controversial. I'm into a lot of controversial things, and I couldn't really see myself talking to her about a lot of the stuff I'm into that's kind of like really weird, you know. I could just tell that she would not really get it, or that we wouldn't really have a bonding experience over most of the things that I'm into. Because she's such a square, I guess I just don't really see myself being friends with people who were kind of like square types. You know, there's nothing wrong with being a square, and I would be friends with people who were like squares or whatever, but we just have to have stuff in common. We had to have more stuff in common, and I didn't feel like we really had that much in common. I even tried talking to her about, like, all kinds of stuff. We talked about, I even tried talking to her about science a little bit. She's a science major. Actually, I think she's like a, what is her major again? I think her major is like engineering or something like that. She wants to be an engineer anyway. I know she wants to be an engineer. And I did try talking to her about that stuff a little bit. but I don't really know that much about um like science news or whatever. I did try talking to her a little bit about it on like I tried talking to her a little bit about a Vera Serum video, and I guess, I tried talking to her about YouTube, but she doesn't watch YouTube really at all. So I couldn't even bond to her about something I feel like most people know about. I tried, but she doesn't really watch. I tried to bond with her, but she just doesn't really watch any YouTube. I don't know. I don't think we really talked about books that much. We did talk about books a little bit. I tried talking to her about movies, but I didn't really feel like we even really truly bonded about movies. And I've seen like everything. Like, she really likes musicals and stuff. I tried bonding with her about like different movies, but I guess I just felt like, I don't know. She doesn't like horror movies, and I love horror movies. So I was hoping we could bond about horror movies. I mean, she was cool. We would talk, like we would really talk, and we would laugh and stuff. And it felt like all the elements of a friendship were kind of there, but I just did not really feel like her and I had a good connection. Even though we were very friendly and stuff, I just felt like I could not really see myself really hanging out with her a lot or really bonding with her. I didn't really think she would ever get me. And I don't know if I would ever really get her. So that's kind of the thing there with her. Now that it's the summertime, like back in the spring semester with that girl, I would have an hour to hang out with her, but I would only see her like once or twice a week. So, but we would have an hour to hang out. But the thing is, she was always busy doing her homework, so we also didn't really have that much time to talk. So maybe we could have been friends, but I don't know, I just feel like, we just did not become friends. Her and I just did not become friends. But I did try to become friends with her. And then now, so we had an hour to talk. Back then I had an hour with each of the students to talk back then. Now I only have like half an hour in the summertime to talk to the students. And I haven't really been talking to the people I work with that much. At night is when I get there, they're usually pretty busy, and then in the daytime, half of the time in the daytime, they're pretty busy doing work stuff like signing people in and out. So there's not that much time to talk to them in the first place because there's only 30 minutes, and then like half of that time they're busy doing work stuff. So there's not really a whole bunch of time to really talk to them. But I did start trying to talk to this one girl that I see a lot. And like I said in my first video about this topic, I tried talking to her a little bit, and I felt like she is kind of really introverted, and I guess I feel like she's probably one of those types who already has the friends that they want in their lives. Like, I think she already has her set friend group, and I don't know if she really wants to expand her friend group. I just felt like she didn't really want to talk, or maybe she was just in a really bad mood that day. I don't know. But, so that's my life. Like, the reason why I don't have very many friends is because all of the friends that most of the friends that I had in college moved back to their hometown cities or their home state if it was a different state. And some of them are from different states. So I don't really get to hang out with my college friends anymore. And then I tried making friends at work, but I have unfortunately always had jobs where I've pretty much always worked either by myself or with people who I don't have very much in common with. Like, for example, like at my security officer job, I'm pretty much by myself most of the time. And when I worked at Pizza Hut, I was a delivery driver, so I was pretty much by myself most of the time. There wasn't a whole bunch of time for me to talk to people, but I did try to make friends at Pizza Hut. It's just that we did not really have that much in common. Or in the case of the girl who didn't have any technology, I couldn't even keep talking to her after I left that job. And so that's what happened there at those jobs. And then when I was a line therapist, I was always working with kids or people who were much older than me, who were parents that I just didn't really have that much in common with. And I did have a lot in common with the kids, but like I said, I can't go hang out with the 5-year-old and go see Midsummer, you know. I can't, because if I took a 5-year-old to see a horror movie, they would have nightmares. And I would feel really bad. Like, and then, you know, their parents have to go with them everywhere, and I didn't really have that much in common with the parents, except one of the parents I did have stuff in common with, but like I said, I think she was really busy, and I just don't know if we could have really ever hung out very often, because she was a busy parent, and she was also, you know, in school. So there's that. But she was cool. I could have seen myself being friends with her. And at my current job, I'm always by myself. So that's why I haven't been able to really make any friends after college at my jobs. And I mean, most people make friends at their jobs. So, you know, I did make some friends online. But the main problem with my life as far as making friends go is that either I've always been working at jobs where I'm by myself, so I really need to get a job where I'm around more people to make more friends. But then also, I still feel like most of the people that I have met throughout my whole life, I just have not had that much in common with. And that is so depressing. It's really sad to me. It's really depressing to me. It really depresses me that I just can't seem to find a lot of people that I have a lot in common with. And it's really depressing to me, you guys. And I really have tried to make friends. Maybe I could have tried harder, but at the same time, I feel like you shouldn't have to effort so much for a friendship to happen. You know, like, I tried starting the conversations and initiating the conversations with a lot of people throughout my life, and the friendships just did not really develop with that many people that I have tried talking to. So I tried, but, you know, the friendships just did not really seem to happen for me with that many people. And then the people that I have made friends with, I feel like still the big issue is that I just do not have very much in common with most of my friends. And I do not have very much in common with most of the people that I have met throughout my whole entire 26 years of life on this planet, unfortunately. So it's really depressing, and yeah, but like I said, there are a few friends that I have that I feel like I have a lot in common with. It's just, I don't know, I mean, people say it's easy to make friends, and I mean, I don't know, I haven't really found that to be the case for me. And I don't know really why that is, because I'm a really cool person. Like, I'm really nice to everyone. And I'm not I'm not really awkward or anything. I don't like weird people out or anything. At least not right away. When they get to know me more and they find out how weird I really am, then maybe I weird people out. But like, you know what I'm saying. I don't think that I am doing anything here that is preventing me from making friends easily. I do make an effort to make friends with people. I do put myself out there and initiate conversations with people. But I think the reason why it's not easy for me to seem to make friends with people is because most of the people that I have met in my life, I just don't really have that much in common with. So that's the problem. That's the issue. That's why I can't seem to make friends easily. It's because I just do not have very much in common with most of the people that I have met throughout my whole life. And I honestly think that a big part of the reason for why I don't have that much in common with the people that I meet is because I went to a small all-girls college, and there just weren't that many weird people like me there. And then I've worked in jobs where I've always been by myself. And then I live in South Carolina, and I don't know, I just feel like a lot of the people here in this whole state, they're just much more conventional than people in like other states. You know, it is the Bible Belt. There's just not that many, like, I mean, there are a lot of creative people in South Carolina, I'm sure, but I haven't really had the fortune of meeting a whole bunch of them. You know, I'm a creative type. I'm eccentric. I'm weird. I'm a creative person. I'm an artist. And I just haven't had the fortune of meeting a whole bunch of like artsy types, or like people who were really into a lot of the things that I'm into, like gothic literature, horror movies, art, classical music, watching different types of movies, not just Marvel movies all the time, and whatever's playing in the theater, you know, like in the mainstream theater, like watching all types of different films. The video games that I like, the YouTube videos I watch, the music that I like, which is alternative music, or punk music and classical music. Things, I mean, I'm not even really into things that are all that really weird, to be honest. Like, just hearing myself list out all these things: horror movies, art, gothic literature. There's millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions upon millions of people who like that stuff. Yet I cannot seem to find that many people who like that stuff. You know? I don't know, I just have really bad luck, I guess, with making friends, like, or with meeting people that I have a lot in common with. Because I keep meeting all these people that just aren't into that stuff. Or they're just not really into that many of the things, the particular things that I like video games, or like the particular video games I like, or that I can actually talk to them about, or like they don't really watch that much YouTube, so I can't even talk to them about that, or they don't really like horror movies. You'd be surprised at how many people don't like horror movies, or they don't really read that much, so I can't really talk to them about books. And let's face it, I don't even read that much either. Or they're just not really reading the same things I read on the internet. They're just not really that like me. They don't have that much in common with me. I just don't seem to find, I just have bad luck with meeting so many people that I just don't seem to have that much in common with, even though the things I'm into are not that weird, really. I'm into a lot of things that are pretty popular, but I can't seem to meet that many people that are into those things. I keep meeting people who are somehow into so many things that are just like different from, the list of things I just mentioned. Those are like the biggest things that I'm into, pretty much. And I'm really into spirituality and the law of attraction as well, but like I haven't really met anyone except like one or maybe two people in my whole life who actually is into the law of attraction. So there's that as well. So I just can't seem to find anyone that's into any of the stuff that I'm into. And I don't want my friends to be exact clones of me, you guys. I want my friends to have different interests from me. But I also want to have some friends that I have a lot in common with, that I can like really talk to about the stuff I'm into a lot, like, and I don't want them to be exactly like me. I don't want them to like everything I like. They don't even have to like most of the stuff I like. I just want to have a lot of things in common with them that I can really talk to them about. And it's just so sad to me that I can't seem to find that many people who have stuff in common with me. So people who say it's easy to make friends, like, yes, it is technically easy to make friends, but am I going to have stuff in common with those friends, Like, I could go out today and make 5 friends with people, but am I truly going to have much in common with those people? Am I really going to want to hang out with those people a lot? Like, do you get what I'm saying? I just feel like you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. It's just, yes, it is easy to make friends, but is it easy to find friends that you have deep connections with? I'm sure it is easy to make friends that you have deep connections with for a lot of people, but, yeah. It just isn't easy for me to make friends that I have a lot in common with, is what I'm saying. However, I do have some friends that I have a lot in common with. But that is my story. That is why I do not have very many friends. And that is why I have technically no female friends that I actually hang out with, because they're all in different cities. They're all college female friends that live in different cities now or different states, and I never get to see them. So that's my sad life. I'm not actually that sad about it, you guys. I do get really lonely a lot, to be honest, but I am still a happy person most of the time. Because I just don't think about it that much, and I know. And then also another issue is, like, I could have maybe put myself out there more and, like, really gotten online and, like, maybe I could have talked to more people and, like, really tried harder to make more friends in my city, which is Columbia, South Carolina. But for the past 3 years, I've been dealing with a lot of mental health issues, and I just did not really want to make a whole bunch of friends at that time because I was so depressed and anxious all the time. So I just, just meeting new people and talking to new people, it was just driving me crazy at the time over the past 3 years, and then especially over this past year. Like, just talking to anyone was driving me crazy. So, and I know that sounds crazy, but that's how crazy I am. So, yeah. I'm not actually crazy, you guys. If you've never watched my YouTube channel before, I'm not actually crazy. But I do have a lot of mental health issues. I do get triggered by certain topics, and I did not want to talk about any of the stuff that triggers me. I didn't want someone to just ask me something that would trigger me. And yeah. So that is my story. And I'm really trying to manifest more friends. I think it's time that now that I've gotten over a lot of my mental health issues, I feel ready to make new friends, but I really just want to focus on making female friends right now. So I'm going to try to go out and make some new female friends. But thank you for watching if you actually watched this far, and please subscribe to me if you liked this video, and hit the thumbs up button if you liked this video. I really need 1,000 subscribers, you guys, because that's what you have to have. You have to have 1,000 subscribers to get money from YouTube, and YouTube is my passion. I want to make YouTube be my full-time job eventually. Please help me get there. Please subscribe to me. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.